Hello. All right, so we are going to start on Genesis 42. And so here we go. Open your Bibles up and we will begin that. So, Genesis 42, the sons of Israel go to Egypt. Joseph's prophecy begins to fulfill. So, chapter 40 through 42, verses 1 through 38. When Jacob found out there was grain for sale in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why are you standing idle? Indeed, I've heard there's grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us there, that we may live and not die." So Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt, but Jacob didn't send Joseph's brother Benjamin with his brothers, for he said, "Lest some calamity befall him." Thus the sons of Israel went to buy grain with those who were going there, for the famine was also in the land of Canaan. Now Joseph was governor over the land, and it was he who sold to all the people of the land. So Joseph's brothers came and bowed down before him with their faces to the ground. Joseph saw them and recognized them, but he acted as a stranger to them and spoke roughly to them. Then he said to them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they didn't recognize him. And Joseph then remembered the dreams that he dreamed about them and said to them, "You are spies. You've come to map out the roads of this country." But they said to him, "No, my lord, your servants have come to buy food. We're all one man's sons. We're men of peace. Your servants aren't spies." But Joseph said to them, "No, but you've come to map out the roads of the land." And they replied, "Your servants are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan, and in fact the youngest is with our father today, and one is no more." But Joseph said to them, "It's as I spoke to you, namely, you're spies, and in this manner you'll be manifested. By the life of Pharaoh, you will not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you and let him bring your brother, and you will be kept in prison, that your words may be tested to see whether there is any truth in you. Or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you're spies." So he put them all together in prison for 3 days. Then Joseph said to them the third day, "Do this and live, for I fear God. If you're men of peace, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house. But you, go and carry grain for the famine of your houses. But bring your youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified, and you will not die." So they did so. Then they said to one another, "We're truly guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us, and we wouldn't hear him. Therefore the distress has come upon us." Reuben then answered them, saying, "Didn't I tell you, don't sin against the boy? But you wouldn't listen. Therefore, behold, his blood is now required of us." But they didn't know Joseph understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. So Joseph turned himself away from them and wept. Then he returned to them again and talked with them. And he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph then gave a command to fill their sacks with grain and restore every man's money to his sack, and gave them provisions for the journey. Thus he did this for them. So they loaded their donkeys with the grain and departed from there. But as one of them opened the sack to give this donkey feed at the encampment, he saw his money, and there it was in the mouth of his sack. So he said to his brothers, "My money's been returned to me. There it is in my sack." Their hearts all failed them. They were scared, saying to one another, "What is this God has done to us?" Then they went to Jacob their father in the land of Canaan and told him all that had happened to them, saying, "The man who is master of the land spoke roughly to us and took us to be spies of the country. But we said to him, 'We're men of peace, we're not spies. We're 12 brothers, sons of our father. One's no more, and the youngest is with our father this day in the land of Canaan.' Then the man, the master of the country, said to us, 'By this I will know you're men of peace. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take food for your households and be gone. Now bring your youngest brother to me, then I will know that you aren't spies, but men of peace. I will then grant your brother back to you, and you may trade in the land.' Then it happened as they emptied their sacks that, surprisingly, each man's bundle of money was in a sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. So Jacob their father said to them, 'You have bereaved me. Joseph's no more, Simeon is no more, and you want to take Benjamin? All these things are against me.' Then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, 'Kill my 2 sons if I don't bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you.' But Jacob replied, 'My son will not go down with you, for his brother is dead and he's left alone. If any calamity should befall him along the way in which you go, you would bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave.' So the famine has affected Jacob's clan. So he sends all the brothers except for Benjamin, to Egypt. And as a nomadic herdsman clan, they are in a big bind here. But Jacob is figuring that if they have some grain there, maybe they can survive off that. So we see that Jacob is super protective of Benjamin and that the favoritism to Rachel's children still continues. Joseph is now governor of the land of Egypt and the overseer of Pharaoh. He has been in Egypt now for about 22 years, give or take. The brothers meet Joseph, but they don't recognize him, and they wouldn't have either, since as Asiatics, the brothers would have been bearded, while as an Egyptian, Joseph would be completely bald. This is also uh, more proof that this was probably after the Hyksos rebellion. So Joseph's brothers bow to him, and Joseph recognizes them. They tell him who they are and that they're from Canaan. Joseph suddenly recalls his prophetic dreams, and then he acts like a stranger to them and is rough to them, accusing them of being spies. But why does Joseph do this? This is more evidence that this is the New Kingdom era, potentially because after the Hyksos had invaded and conquered Egypt, the Egyptians, when they took it back from them, they were all very naturally suspicious of them and of any Asiatic in general. So, so it had been at least 107 years, give or take, of Hyksos rule, and Egypt did not want to be under them ever again. And this would have happened roughly 1630 to 1523 BC. So, give or take around there. And I should note, and I put it on the note, like this is speculative because, you know, this is very speculative actually. But if this revolt was recent, this could also explain why Isaac in Genesis 26:2 was not allowed to go there as well. And that's kind of my opinion that that's what it is. But if you have some better arguments, I'd like to hear them, obviously. Because I'm willing to be open about this one. So, anyways, chapter 42, verses 13 through 17 show us that the brothers think Joseph is dead. And, like, what would be the odds, right? Just 10 of us, our dad and Benjamin. So, Joseph puts them in prison for 3 days, and then he tells them they can only come back if they bring Benjamin with them. So, Joseph releases them. Keep in mind that Joseph is not doing revenge here. Like, some people think this is revenge. This isn't revenge. Keep in mind, Joseph could have ordered them all to be executed right there. So if he wanted to really take revenge on his brothers, he very much could have. But Joseph's goal is not revenge. It's to see his brother Benjamin at the moment. So he has them as hostages a little bit and will at least let one go, but he decides to actually relent. So they agree that Joseph will imprison Simeon while they go back and bring Benjamin back. And recall that Joseph was in prison for 2 years. He can't bear his brothers being in there for even 3 days, right? So the brothers bring up Joseph as they're going home and recall what they did to him. They begin to believe that Joseph is the reason bad things are happening to them. Reuben points out that he did not want Joseph dead. In verse 23, is Joseph's shown to understand what they say, but they're unaware because he's using an interpreter. So they get home and tell Jacob, first Joseph returns their money, and then they're scared because it looks like they've stolen from him now. Like, what bad luck. And they still have to bring Benjamin there to get Simeon back. So they get home and tell Jacob, and he immediately refuses to give Benjamin up. Jacob thinks that Simeon is doomed, and Benjamin will be too. So Reuben here, he tries to step up and bear responsibility, saying that he will bring both Simeon and Benjamin back, or Jacob can have both his sons' lives. Now, Jacob will not kill his grandchildren, just so we're clear. But this is an oath. Like, if I fall and I fail, these are your kids, right? So this chapter ends on a sour note, with Jacob still refusing to let Benjamin go. He has at the moment let favoritism win. And Simeon to him is either dead or as good as dead. Unlike Abraham, who was willing to give Isaac up, Jacob was not able to give Benjamin up to save his son, at least not yet. So, yeah, it ends on a little sour note. And if you're wondering, I think in some of the traditions, Simeon was not stuck in jail this whole time. Like, he was not stuck in jail the whole time. He was treated pretty decently, actually. So, Joseph didn't just like keep him in jail the whole time. So, anyways, hopefully you like that one. And if you like this one, we're just gonna keep going with Genesis 43 on the next one. And yeah, so next time we'll do Genesis 43. So yeah, if you like this podcast, hit like, subscribe, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. God bless you.